Hello and welcome to the MAC weather page for this Monday, March 27th, and no severe weather expected this week. We do have chance for periodic showers. I think the heaviest precipitation will be across the southern part of the state. And again, I don't think any real warm air, no real cold air coming up. So really about 5 degrees above normal here over the next 7 days. And we do have a couple of chances of showers maybe late tonight into Tuesday. And then I think most areas we'll pick up on some showers as we get into Thursday and Friday, and some of that could be in the form of some snow as well, as just enough cold air will be in place with high pressure in Canada feeding some cold air as that storm later on this week will track well to the south of the state. And again, so we'll have to watch for the chance that we could see some snow mixed in. But again, as you can see over the next 6 to 10, 8 to 14 days, we're going to continue to see temperatures a little above normal and precipitation also a bit above normal as well. And again, I think over the next 7 days, the best chance of the heaviest rains are going to be in the southern plains into the Ohio Valley, south of the Gulf states, over towards the Carolinas and up the East Coast. And again, we'll be just a little bit above normal here. As far as this last storm we went through, so far we averaged right at the minimum of my forecast. I forecasted Thursday to Sunday night about 3/4 of an inch to 1.25 inches. You can see the average is exactly at 0.75 of an inch. Locally up to 1.5 inches could fall, and we did just barely make that. So really the forecast is pretty decent, but again, just a little bit on the low side. But again, plenty of precipitation across the area here over the last 4 days. If we look at the normals for the day, our normal high is 48, the normal low is 27. And you can see 10 years ago on this date, we had a record high of 78 degrees. We won't be any place near that for a while. If we look at the coldest and warmest temperatures across the lower 48, the hot spot 97 degrees at Rio Grande Village in Texas, and the cold spot was 9 below zero at Big Black River in Maine. If we look at conditions around the MAC and LAC areas yesterday, you can see temperatures pretty mild out there, and mainly in the mid and upper 40s to low 50s, 55 degrees at Lansing, the warm spot. And you can see plenty of precipitation across much of the area, especially across the southwestern 2/3 of the MAC locations. And if we look at the conditions around the area this morning, a rather mild morning out there with temperatures mainly in the upper 40s to low 50s. Of course, Newaygo, the cold spot at 43. If we look at the radar this morning, you can see some of that activity from the next system that's going to be coming up here as we get into tonight and Tuesday. But again, I think the heaviest precipitation would be across far southern lower Michigan, with lighter amounts as you head to the north. So this system mainly is going to affect the Ohio Valley, and that's where all the severe weather is going to be as well, across the deep south into possibly the Ohio and Tennessee valleys. But again, the farther south across the U.S., that's where most of the activity is going to be here this week, as storms will come out of the northwest, drop into the Rockies. Places like Colorado Springs and Denver, you could pick up quite a bit more snow this week as well. If we look at the satellite view this morning, you can see that storm system now getting ready to move up towards the Great Lakes. Again, the heaviest activity will stay across much of the Ohio Valley, and you can see our departing system, and then another system comes in. So with these systems parading in off the west, we don't get a chance to get cold air to come in on the backside of these systems. So we're going to again remain quite mild here this week, and for much of really the next couple of weeks. We don't see any cold air in sight at this time. And if we look at the forecast map this morning, you can see our next low pressure system coming out of the Arklatex is going to head up into the southern Ohio Valley, and just to the south of that track, down to the south, is where the best chance of severe weather will be over the next several days. Again, lighter precipitation as you get up into the Great Lakes. The best chance will be across southern lower Michigan here. And if we look at the forecast map, by Tuesday morning, that next low pressure system will be moving into the Ohio Valley off to the northeast, and then the next one will get set to bring more severe weather across Texas and Oklahoma, and that'll march off to the east as we get into the day on Wednesday, when there could be a rather large area of severe weather across the deep south from Louisiana, eastern Texas, up into portions of Oklahoma, southeast Kansas, into southeast Missouri and southern Missouri, into much of Arkansas. Again, that area could be under gun. That could be a pretty good tornadic outbreak for midweek. And we can look at the precipitation here over the next 7 days. You can see the primary area of heavy rains are going to be across the deep south up into the Ohio, Tennessee valleys and off into New England. For us, quite a bit less, mainly around a 1/2 inch to possibly 3/4 of an inch as you get into southern lower Michigan, much less as you get off to the north, under a 1/2 inch, and eventually back to just very little amounts as you get up in towards the western end of the UP. So overall, this won't be a real wet week, but certainly plenty of moisture across the areas from around I-96 off to the south. but again, nothing that should get out of hand. And if we look at severe weather watch out there this morning, very calm conditions out there, mainly just a couple of fog advisory areas across the Virginias and across portions of eastern North and South Dakota into northwest Minnesota. Thanks for stopping by and have yourself a great day, a great work week, and 73s to all.